हेलो नमस्कार अस्सलाम वालेकुम और सत श्री अकाल। मैं हूँ आरजे जय। दोस्तों, आज एक बहुत ही ख़ास मकसद से मैं आप सभी के साथ जुड़ा हूँ और उस मकसद का नाम है एजुकेशन। जी हाँ, मकसद इसीलिए बोल रहा हूँ दोस्तों, ये ज़रूरत बन चुकी है। जैसे कि फूड क्लोथिंग शेल्टर, यानी कि खाना पीना और रहना कितना आवश्यक है हम मानव जीवन के लिए, वैसे ही पढ़ना यानी ज्ञान भी उतना ही आवश्यक है हमारे लिए। तो इसी ज्ञान की बातों को और आगे बढ़ाने के लिए, तालीम के बारे में और बातचीत करने के लिए हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं डॉक्टर पी वेंकट रमना सर, प्रिंसिपल, गवर्नमेंट डिग्री कॉलेज चंचलगुड़ा, जो कि असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर और एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर पॉलिटिकल साइंस सब्जेक्ट के रह चुके हैं 30 सालों से, और जिन्होंने बहुत सारी किताबें भी लिखी हैं तेलुगु अकादमी के लिए और डॉक्टर बी आर अम्बेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी और बहुत सारे दीगर यूनिवर्सिटीज़ के लिए इन्होंने किताबें लिखी हैं। ट्रांसलेटर हैं नेशनल ट्रांसलेशन मिशन ऑफ मैसूर के, नेशनल ट्रांसलेटर तेलुगु टू इंग्लिश, इंग्लिश टू तेलुगु के। बहुत सारी वीडियोस बनाए हैं इन्होंने बच्चों के लिए। 50 वीडियो लेसन है उसमें शामिल और 30 ऑडियो लेसन शामिल हैं। कमिश्नर ऑफ हायर एजुकेशन इन तेलंगाना उनके लिए बनाया है उन्होंने। और ये जो लेसन्स इन्होंने बनाया है वो फ़ायदेमंद है डिग्री स्टूडेंट्स और पीजी स्टूडेंट्स के लिए। बहुत सारे यूट्यूब लेसन्स भी बनाए इन्होंने। कौन से सब्जेक्ट के लिए? जी हाँ, पॉलिटिकल साइंस के लिए। और इसी सब कामों के लिए, इसी सब ज्ञान को बांटने के लिए इन्हें सम्मानित भी किया गया बेस्ट टीचर अवार्ड का। इन्हें सम्मानित किया गया, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ तेलंगाना ने इन्हें बेस्ट टीचर से नवाजा है 2016 में। बेस्ट टीचर अवार्ड इनको फिर से मिला लायंस क्लब इंटरनेशनल की तरफ से। और जूनियर रिसर्च फेलो JRF, सीनियर रिसर्च फेलो यूनिवर्सिटी ग्रांट्स कमीशन के हैं। तो हमारे साथ मौजूद है डॉक्टर पी वेंकट रमना साहब, और इनसे बातचीत करेंगे दोस्तों एजुकेशन यानी तालीम के बारे में। जी हाँ, कितनी ज़रूरत है आज तालीम की। तो सर, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर कमिंग टू रेडियो चारमीनार एंड गिविंग योर वैल्यूबल टाइम। एजुकेशन सर, द टर्म एजुकेशन,
तालीम है।
तालीम है,
Yes.
क्या समझ सकते हैं हम इससे? बताइए कितनी ज़रूरत है हमें आज के ज़माने में।
तालीम का ज़रूरत ज़्यादा है। बोले तो an individual is molded by two forces. One is nature, the other one is culture. We get all the human qualities from nature, but we mold our personality for the needs of society only through education. So education is very much required for molding one's own personality, for choosing a profession of his taste, and for getting values to include the culture in the society. So तालीम का ज़रूरत ज़्यादा है। आप बहुत अच्छा बोले। पूरा आम आदमी से पूरा संपन्न लोगों को तरफ पूरा लोगों के लिए ये तालीम का ज़रूरत ज़्यादा है। इसको रिकग्नाइज करके पूरा गवर्नमेंट्स भी, सरकार, ब्रिटिश सरकार या पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस का भारतीय सरकार नया नया एजुकेशन पॉलिसीज़ भी लेके आए थे। वो एजुकेशन पॉलिसीज़ में पूरा लोगों को एजुकेट करने के लिए और लिटरेसी रेट बढ़ने के लिए भी गवर्नमेंट बहुत कोशिश कर रहा है। एजुकेशन कैन बी कैटेगराइज्ड इनटू डिफरेंट टाइप्स। एक यूनिवर्सल एडल्ट एजुकेशन है, प्राइमरी एजुकेशन है, हायर एजुकेशन है, टेक्निकल एजुकेशन है, मेडिकल एजुकेशन है, मैनेजमेंट एजुकेशन है। सो दीज आर ऑल द types of education that caters to the needs of the society. In fact, the 20th century society and 21st century society are so dynamic in human history that these societies require so much of manpower to satisfy the needs of the society. So to facilitate the manpower, education is the only instrument. So तालीम के जैसा पूरा सोसाइटी के लिए, पूरा वो सोसाइटी का अवसर के लिए तालीम अच्छा रहना है। ये वर्ल्ड वाइड ट्रेंड है और भारत में भी यही ट्रेंड है।
बिल्कुल सर, आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा कि वर्ल्ड वाइड ट्रेंड है और बिल्कुल अवेयरनेस जो होता है एक एजुकेशन को लेकर, जो लोग जो एजुकेशन को उतना मायने नहीं देते हैं। आजकल सब डिग्री के पीछे भागते हैं। उनका यही मकसद रहता है कि मैं कॉलेज या स्कूल जाऊंगी या जाऊंगा, पास होने भर तक का सफ़र है, वो कुछ सीखने तक का सफ़र नहीं है सर। तो ये वाला जो कॉन्सेप्ट है ये दिमाग में क्यों आ रहा है? क्या हमारी जो नीड्स है वो हमें बस पैसों की ज़रूरत तक पहुंचाने का एक ज़रिया बन चुकी है, या हमें एक अवेयरनेस लाने के लिए वो रोका जा रहा है हमें? तुम क्या कर लोगे यार जान के? जानने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, पढ़ लो।
Yeah,
पढ़ोगे लिखोगे बनोगे नवाब, खेलोगे और कूदोगे तो बनोगे खराब।
very wonderful question.
जी।
Actually, in every society there are the two arguments, both in favor of education and against education. Education in good olden days, particularly in 19th century and before that, was only considered as an instrument for higher sections, only to get respect, dignity and everything. But in modern times, particularly in 21st century, we get education for skill development. Skill development is very much required.
बिल्कुल।
You require so many doctors, you require so many teachers, you require so many engineers, you require so many lawyers, chartered accountants. So this is how the whole professions are categorized. And only with education only you can get the skills. So education is not only gives you respect, it also develops the skills that are required for the society. By acquiring skills, one can have a life with self-respect and dignity. So that's how education is very much needed for the modern day societies. In fact, the person who is educated is given more respect and dignity compared to other people. So even poorest of the poor families also preferring to send their sons and daughters for education, and primary education is the minimal, and 10th class, passing 10th class is considered as very much required. And some of the families even going to higher education like degree level education. And in 19th century and early 20th century, people like Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who considered education as an instrument of social change. In fact, India is a society with so many social inequalities. In such a society, education only can get social equality, and it can give you all the rights. You can assert on your rights. So, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, though he came from a poor background, he went up to American Columbia University and he pursued his PhD there. And he went to London School of Economics. We can never thought of any person of that poor background going to such universities and have education. And he also changed the whole future of India. He has given us a wonderful constitution. And Ambedkar is a model for all the poor families in the society, particularly Indian society, how education can change one's own life, both in terms of getting livelihood and also for getting respect in the society.
बहुत खूब कहा सर आपने। डॉक्टर बी आर अम्बेडकर जी का आपने जिक्र किया। बिल्कुल, जब भी हम उनका नाम सुनते हैं तो हमें श्रम यानी कि बहुत ही ज़्यादा हार्ड वर्क हमें सुनाई देता है, और रोंगटे भी खड़े हो जाते हैं हमारे जब भी हम डॉक्टर बी आर अम्बेडकर की जो स्ट्रगल को हम याद करते हैं। किस प्रकार से जब वो क्लासरूम में जाते थे तो उन्हें अलग बिठा दिया जाता था, उनके साथ डिस्क्रिमिनेशन किया जाता था, पर उस चीज़ों से निकल कर एक अपनी पहचान बनाना बहुत ही मुश्किल का काम है। जी हाँ, बिल्कुल। इसीलिए उन्होंने कहा कि एजुकेट, एजिटेट एंड ऑर्गेनाइज। बिल्कुल, ये बात है। तो पर आज हमारे जो युवा वर्ग हैं, जो हमारे जो यंगस्टर्स हैं, उनमें वो जोश की कमी दिखाई देती है सर, कहीं ना कहीं। तो इसकी वजह क्या हो सकती है सर? क्या हम सही मायने में हम अपना जो प्रोफेशन, जो टीचर्स जो होते हैं वो प्रोफेस नहीं कर पाते हैं, या फिर कोऑर्डिनेशन नहीं है टीचर और एक स्टूडेंट के बीच में?
दैट्स रियली वंडरफुल क्वेश्चन जी। In fact, the trends of globalization and commercialization are penetrating into education system also. As a result, there is hardly any affection between student and teacher. So that kind of bonding between teacher and student should be built. In fact, in this occasion, I should tell you about our first education minister of India, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. He was very much interested in building a value-based society. And he wanted education to be in such a way that students lifelong should remember their teacher. That means student is also like a guardian, and he should impart all the values that are required for a student. And without giving values, teacher only gives information. It's of no use. Unfortunately, in modern day societies, teachers are only giving information but it's not coupled with values.
Yeah, yeah.
In fact, the vision of our forefathers, particularly the freedom fighters in India, nationalist movement leaders like Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan,
बिल्कुल.
Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, Mahatma Gandhi,
Hmm.
and others. They wanted a society where people are having values besides the degrees. And our generations are only acquiring degrees without having any values. So as a result, the education is commercialized. But the government is also looking after these trends, and it is also trying its best to bring value system also in the education. Let's only hope that values will come to the education system.
वी होप फॉर द बेस्ट सर. एंड बिल्कुल आपने जो बात कही है, बिल्कुल खान अब्दुल गफ़ार खान के बारे में आपने बात की, फ्रंटियर गांधी भी हम उन्हें बोलते हैं. बिल्कुल. और बिल्कुल आपने जिन जिन लोगों का भी नाम लिया है बहुत ही सम्माननीय है. मीन्स दे आर वेरी रिस्पेक्टफुल इन द आइज ऑफ द इंडियंस, नॉट ओनली इंडियंस बट एवरी वन इन द वर्ल्ड. आपने मौलाना अब्दुल कलाम आज़ाद जी का नाम आपने लिया, जो हमारे भारत के पहले एजुकेशन मिनिस्टर थे. उन्होंने भी बहुत प्रयास किया. उन्होंने अपने स्पीचेस से, अपने पहल से, अपने एजुकेशन पॉलिसीज से भी बहुत लोगों को जोड़ने की कोशिश की. बिल्कुल सही कहा सर आपने. सर पहले जब गुरुकुल हुआ करता था, हम जब ट्रेडिशनल मेथड्स पे हम थोड़ा जाएंगे तो हम गुरु ब्रह्मा, गुरु विष्णु, गुरुदेवा महेश्वरा हम कहते थे. पर आजकल देखिए सर, वो हमें देखने को नहीं मिल रहा. कब बच्चे आए, कब भागे, और टीचर्स को भी रहता है कि कब बेल बजे, कब जाएं. पर वो गहराई नहीं पकड़ पा रहे हैं. गहराई कहाँ से आएगी सर? बिल्कुल.
Actually, there are two types of students.
जी.
One is student coming from first generation students whose parents are illiterates and who has two responsibilities. One is to complete the education and also to supplement the family incomes. So, for example, in our college, Government Degree College, Chanchalguda, a good number of students stay in the college from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, and they go for part-time jobs and some, because without doing those jobs, it is humanly impossible to get the family to a dignified living. That's one thing. In such cases, sometimes there will not be any attachment between lecturers and the students. But in spite of that, we are arranging personal interactions. We are planning to bring affection towards students, and we are having even phone numbers of the students, and we are contacting the parents. At times we are going to their homes, and we are bringing some affection and love between the students and teachers. But in many colleges this is missing. So this is to be rectified, and principals of different colleges are taking separate steps for this. And the other thing is, with the trends of globalization in 20th century and 21st century, we have the consumerism is going. As a result, a Vinyogadari nature. Vinyogadari nature mein pura, we are paying the fees to the government. It is the duty of the lecturer to come and teach us. So the relation between teacher and the student is only a client and a owner, that kind of relationship. But it should be replaced by personalized relationship between a teacher and student. And student should be given a respectable place, and teacher should be given, as you have said it, in a divine space. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Bhava, that kind of a divinely place is always there. But students have to be oriented towards that. And students at the same time be given respect by teachers also. In some cases, even lecturers do not properly pay attention to the teacher, lecturer, to students, and they don't care personal care of the students likewise. But there are efforts both by the managements, principals, government, and various other channels to repair this relation, because this new trend is really harmful, particularly in medical education, because medical education students need to have values. Otherwise, if all the students are commercialized, poor people will not have medication. That's why in certain spectrum of education, this is very much needed. And in general, all the students need to have values. And the government is also trying its best, and administrators of education are also doing their best. The change is coming, and the change is slowly coming. And these trends are very rampant. When liberalization was opened in 1990s.
1990s,
yeah,
exactly.
But over a period of time, it is slowly disappearing, and we have the culture of affection and love between teachers and student. Let's only hope that a new society will be built.
बिल्कुल सर, परिवर्तन संसार का नियम है, बिल्कुल। और बिल्कुल हम इसी परिवर्तन के साथ हम देखते हैं कि आगे आने वाली जनरेशन्स में कितना गैप है और उस गैप को हम कैसे फिल कर सकते हैं विथ अवेयरनेस ऑल्सो। एजुकेशन इज ऑल्सो इक्वल टू अवेयरनेस। जब क्योंकि हम जो किताबी बातें हम जो पढ़ते हैं, जो हमारे जो सब्जेक्ट्स होते हैं, मुझे लगता है कि अगर मैं अपनी बात करूं तो इट इज़ नॉट एक, मैं बोलता हूँ कि पर्याप्त नहीं है, मतलब कि पर्याप्त नहीं है, हमें और आगे जाना पड़ेगा। यू हैव टू गो मोर, अपडेट करते रहना चाहिए आपको, अपडेट। तो ये अपडेशन की बात है सर। बट एक चीज़ आपने देखा होगा कि जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, जो अच्छा भी पढ़ते हैं, जो नहीं भी, मतलब मैं कोई अच्छा बुरा का कोई कैटेगराइजेशन नहीं करूँगा, बाहर चल जाते हैं दूसरे देशों में। इसकी क्या वजह हो सकती है सर?
Actually, there are two types of learning. One is teacher-centric learning. Second one is student-centric learning. Previously, good olden days, education was only teacher telling and student noting everything. But nowadays, the techniques of learner-centric learning or student-centric learning is coming. Student is motivated to go for newspapers or research magazines and observations, field trips, study tours, and students, they should observe everything and they should get right-hand information, first-hand information. For example, Government Degree College, Jadcherla, has built a Telangana Botanical Garden with huge costs, and it is useful to all the colleges in the state. Many of the colleges have made a study tour to that, and our students are coming to know the plants, their medicinal qualities and everything. So this is kind of first-hand information. And students are also making trips to Kaleshwaram Dam, Kaleshwaram project, where how the turbines are built, how the water is flowing from low-level upper area to low-level areas, low-level areas to upper areas. So this is how on-hand information, practical knowledge and field trips are more rampant in modern day studies, and learner-centric learning is also going on. And this only will repair the gap between teachers and students. The more interaction between teacher and student, the more the affection that will be built. So our lecturer community and the principals are also taking care in building more number of interactions between the students and teachers. And if they stay in the campus for more number of hours, that can be easily built. But the paradox is, our students also have to earn something for their families. They are the first generation students. Their parents are illiterates. So as a responsible child, sometimes even child labor also is prevailing in such cases. In some cases, the boy goes to a school from morning 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, and by 3 o'clock he joins in a chappal shop or automobile shop or a hotel to earn some livelihood for their parents.
Exactly.
So as a result, the gap between students and teachers is very widening, and the government is also encouraging the students to have more number of hours interaction between teachers and students, and that's why the Gurukula concept also has come, and the government made it residential schools and colleges, and the Telangana government has brought nearly so many Gurukula colleges in higher education also. So it's also part of that KG to PG program. The government is facilitating residential programs are also coming. If it is residential program, the interaction between teachers and students is more. As a result, the value system also will be built up. So the commercialization of education will be
lower down.
So that's also another important aspect. And many people are doing their best for this.
बहुत गहरी बात सर, बिल्कुल जो कमर्शलाइजेशन ऑफ एजुकेशन बिल्कुल बैलेंस होना चाहिए, बिल्कुल ही समीकरण बिल्कुल बैठना चाहिए। सर एक टीचर के पर्सपेक्टिव से पूछूंगा, एक सही टीचर होता कौन है और एक सही स्टूडेंट होता कौन है?
That's really a good question. In fact, a model teacher always should have the student-centric teacher. He should always provide information, knowledge. He should also feel the problems of the student as his problems. Students also may have so many problems. Physical problems are there, economic problems are there, social problems are there, and cultural problems are there. So all the problems of the student should be identified as the problem of the teacher. And उन्हें अच्छा टीचर हो जाता. And there are so many teachers, like for Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, who is a good teacher. When he retired from the government service, a good number of students brought a palanquin, and he sat on that, and students only carried that. So that itself is and Shankar Dayal Sharma, who was a good teacher. In fact, the king of Saudi Arabia wanted to take him from the airport to the palace by self-driving. The prince himself has self-drived the president, because he was a student of Shankar Dayal Sharma in Pune. So that's how a teacher always identifies himself with the problems of the students. So that's this thing. And also a model student is one who is always conscious about the teacher's knowledge, and he should draw everything and anything for the teacher. And students also think that he is only his father-like figure, or he is a family member, and he should have that intimacy. He should build up that intimacy with the teacher. So the student also can be. This is how a model teacher and a model student can prosper, by reposing faith against each other. If you trust the student will trust you. If you repose confidence on the teacher, students also have confidence in the teacher. So this is it's a mutual process. It is followed by many of the teachers and many of the students also.
Exactly सर, बिल्कुल बहुत ही जिम्मेदारी वाला काम होता है. ऐसे ही आप किसी को गुरु नहीं बोल सकते और ना गुरु मान सकते हैं. बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी काम है, और बिल्कुल आप बखूबी बहुत ही जिम्मेदारी वाला काम कर रहे हैं. लोगों को तालीम फराहम करा रहे हैं, बिल्कुल तालीम दे रहे हैं. एजुकेशन देना तो अपने में ही बहुत बड़ा दान होता है. इट्स बोलते हैं ना कि ज्ञानम पर धर्मम. तो बिल्कुल आप बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं बिल्कुल. और सर, आप जॉब मेला भी लगाते हैं, मैंने सुना है. तो सर, ये कॉन्सेप्ट कहाँ से आया आपके दिमाग में कि मुझे जॉब मेला ऑर्गेनाइज करना है, जहाँ पे ये कॉन्सेप्ट कहाँ से आया आपके दिमाग में? क्या आपने देखा कि इतने लोग बेरोजगार हैं, बेरोजगारी के बारे में आप सेंसिटिव हो गए बहुत ज़्यादा, कि जो बच्चे हैं आजकल उनको नौकरी नहीं मिल रही, या फिर कोई ऐसी वजह है जहाँ आपने उनको अपने जगह रख के देखा कि नहीं यार, मैं इनमें अपने आप को देखता हूँ? जी सर, तो ऐसा कुछ हुआ आपके साथ?
Yes. Actually, there are certain lacunae in the education system itself, because the education system is only generalized. It is not providing skills to the students. For example, a technician, an electrician, a plumber, a carpenter, who requires some skills. A computer operator requires some skills. But general education, it will not provide all the skills. As a result, the government of Telangana, particularly our commissioner, he is asking all the colleges to initiate certificate courses. Besides the education, besides having a degree, every student requires a certificate course, either in plumbing, either in electricity, electrical repairing, or carpentry, or candle making, pickle making, all these things. So once these certificates are with the hands of the students, we are also contacting the bank managers and to provide them some loans for startups, startup companies. That's one thing. And secondly, for the students who come from middle class background, they cannot venture, or they do not have the confidence to start themselves any companies. And they want only employment. So they want a blue collar job or a white collar job. So we are contacting the multinational corporations and we are asking them to come and conduct a job mela. And we are also equally imparting them the skills that are required for the jobs. And we are making a liaison between the students and the corporations. So as a result, a good number of students are also employed. In fact, a couple of days back, our college also has conducted a job mela. This is the second job mela in these 3 years time. And in which many companies have come, they have chosen the students, they have appreciated our efforts. And luckily, they have also got the skills that are required for their jobs among the students. So the students are first hand. They have selected all the students and gave offer letters to them. So this is how ultimately the aim of the education is to provide employment to the student.
गहरी बात है.
He should have a life with dignity and self-respect.
बिल्कुल.
He should not compromise with any of the social evils. So he should have a dignified living. His father and forefathers lived in very subhuman conditions. But at least his life should be in a dignified manner. So with that aim, he joins in the college. And we have 3 batches of students who have outgoing students. This is the 3rd batch, which is going for the final exams now. Our college is started in 2017. So this is the 3 years course, and 3 batches have completed their course. So we have made a survey. How many students have gone for higher education? How many students require jobs? And for all the students who require jobs, we have called them, we have given separate orientation for them. We have conducted separate small term courses. And we have also invited the corporations and make a job mela. And luckily, a good number of our students got jobs. And with a dignified salary also. And every student is getting some 20,000 rupees plus at a starting pay. And in course of time, if they prove themselves, they may be, their perks may be hiked. And if they work on holidays also, they'll be given some more incentives. And their promotion channels are also very bright. This is how we motivated them. And luckily students are also obliging us. They are coming to for job melas. And yesterday some 75 students have participated.
Oh, wow.
And 33 students got their jobs on hand.
Wow.
So this is how job mela, conducting job mela is in fact not the duty of the college. But we should be sensitive enough to the problems of the students.
Very good.
If all the 3 years he completes the degree and he goes to the streets without any job, without any higher education, what will happen to his life? He may be loitering around with petty jobs. So that's why we do not want our students to be like that. And we want them to be settled in their career in a very dignified manner with self-respect. So that's why we have conducted this. And many of the colleges in the state are also conducting. And in fact, the government is also encouraging the principals to conduct job melas at least 2 times in a year.
Very good.
So that all the outgoing students should be properly employed and respectably placed in the society.
वेरी गुड सर, वेरी गुड. बहुत खूब कहा आपने सर. बिल्कुल बेरोजगारी तो एक सामाजिक समस्या है, ये बिल्कुल है, बिल्कुल समस्या है, ये हम समझते हैं. सर अगर मान लीजिए कि कोई अगर आपको सुन रहा है अभी और उसको भी कुछ ट्रेनिंग करना हो, इंटर्नशिप करना हो, तो वो कैसे पहुंच सकते हैं डॉक्टर वेंकट रमना सर के पास?
Anybody who is interested to have any short term courses in computer applications or soft skills or plumbing, electrication, we are conducting short term courses, and accountancy, tally courses we are conducting. They need not be the students of our college. They can come to us, they can approach us, Government Degree College, Chanchalguda. They can come to our college and contact us. We will provide them an opportunity. And after successfully completing the short term courses, we will also recommend their names for the jobs to the job organizations and companies.
सर एड्रेस क्या रहेगा जहाँ पर वो लोग आपसे कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं सर? कैसे पॉइंट ऑफ कांटेक्ट क्या रहेगा?
Yeah, Government Degree College, Chanchalguda. It is in the junior college campus. And the principal, Government Degree College, Chanchalguda. My phone number I will give you, 9177087189. 9177087189. So in this phone number you can contact us. And for every 2 months and 3 months, we are conducting one course or the other, certificate courses. They are all short-term certificate courses. It's only for 2 hours in a day. They can also conveniently come to the college for the certificate course. And after completion of the course, we'll recommend their names for the different jobs to different companies, and so that they can have a dignified living. So this is how रोजगार is also a problem of nowadays students.
बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल. हम जब देखिए ठीक है, चलिए हमको घर चलाना भी है, बिल्कुल पढ़ना भी है, और ये माइंडसेट में अगर रहे कि हाँ चलो भाई जॉब तो है, चलो हम पढ़ भी लेंगे, तो ये प्रॉब्लम भी दोनों सॉल्व हो जाएगा. वाइस वर्सा अगर हम देखें तो. And
here there is another important aspect.
जी.
If you want a full-time job or a part-time job, both of them are available with the companies.
Oh wow.
If you want to job only for 4 hours in a day, there are certain organizations. If you want job for 8 hours in a day, there are organizations. So even if you are engaged in education, you can also have part-time jobs. So for that also there are courses. After completion of those courses also we can recommend their names for the part-time jobs. And if anybody want a full-time job also, we can recommend their names for the full-time jobs.
बिल्कुल.
That's how we are managing.
बहुत बेहतरीन काम कर रहे हैं सर आप. लोगों को आप एजुकेशन से भी आप लोगों को आप प्रोवाइड करवा रहे हैं, जॉब्स भी प्रोवाइड करा रहे हैं. तो साधारण बात नहीं है सर, ये बहुत मुश्किल का काम है. और ये मुश्किल काम करने में हम आपके साथ हैं बिल्कुल. और हम उम्मीद करते हैं आगे भी ऐसे ही आप काम करें, जिससे सिर्फ तेलंगाना ही नहीं, पूरे भारत में नहीं, पूरे विश्व में आपका नाम हो सर.
गॉड इज ग्रेट.
जी सर. तो आखिरी में सर आप हैदराबाद के यंगस्टर्स के लिए क्या मैसेज देना चाहेंगे सर?
Youngsters have ample opportunities in Hyderabad, in India, and throughout the world. Only thing is they should need to have 3 types of skills. One is professional skills. Second one is soft skills. The third one is secretarial skills. If you could have these 3 types of skills, professional skills bole to you have to choose a profession, either a plumbing, electrician, or a teacher, or an engineer, or a doctor. These are all professional skills. Then soft skills bole to giving respect to others, how to make friendship with others, how to respect the higher ups, higher authorities. So this is how it changes the human behavior, the behavioral patterns. And secretarial skills require the computer skills, that is skills required for accountancy and other. If these 3 skills are acquired, you are assured of a job. Anybody will be given a good job and he can lead a life with dignity and self-respect.
क्या बात है सर, बहुत खूब कहा आपने. और मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ हैदराबाद के जितने यंगस्टर्स हैं उनको आपने एक सप्लीमेंट दे दिया है, एक बहुत ही एक होप दिया है आपने. और इस होप को आप ही रंग दे सकते हैं सर, आप ही नैया पार कर सकते हैं. और मैं उम्मीद करता हूं कि आगे जितने भी बच्चे आएंगे आप उनके भविष्य को अच्छे से साकार कर सकते हैं.
डेफिनेटली
आप उनको आगे लेकर जाएंगे. और हम भी चाहते हैं सर आप ये जो जो काम कर रहे हैं, पुण्य का काम कर रहे हैं, इसमें हम सहयोग दें अपना जितना हो सके. हम आपके साथ है सर, बिल्कुल. मैं तो खड़ा हूँ सर आपके साथ, बिल्कुल. हम बिल्कुल. मैं
एक्चुअली मीडिया प्लेस ए वेरी पॉजिटिव रोल, बिकॉज मीडिया गिव्स इंफॉर्मेशन टू द people, and also it molds the opinions of the people. So media has a very transformative role in modern societies. Otherwise the society is filled with blind faiths, unscientific conventions and everything. So you are playing a very good role. We require your services. We need your stand so that we can achieve any endeavor in the future. Thank you friends.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, मैं आपके साथ हूँ सर. और हम पूरे रेडियो 4 मीनार की टीम आपके साथ है इस पुण्य के काम में, जिसमें आप एजुकेशन भी दे रहे हैं और साथ ही साथ जॉब्स भी प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं. बहुत ही अच्छी बात है. तो दोस्तों ये थे हमारे साथ डॉक्टर पी वेंकट रमना सर, प्रिंसिपल गवर्नमेंट डिग्री कॉलेज चंचलगुड़ा. और इनसे हमने बहुत सारी बातचीत की एजुकेशन के ताल्लुक से और जॉब्स के ताल्लुक से. तो वो एक महान शख्स ने क्या खूब कहा है कि पढ़ो समझने को, समाज बदलने को. तो चलिए आज से हम शुरू कर देते हैं इस पहल को. हम पढ़ेंगे समझने के लिए और समाज में एक परिवर्तन यानी बदलाव लाने के लिए. तो बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर, अपना कीमती वक्त दिया आपने.
थैंक यू.
तो
It's really a very wonderful opportunity given to me to interact with some of the people. Thank you sir. Thank you.
थैंक यू सर. तो दोस्तों आज के लिए बस इतना ही. और अभी मैं आपसे चाहूँगा, इजाज़त लूँगा आप सभी से. सुनते रहिए रेडियो 4 मीनार 107.8 FM, दिल से हैदराबादी.